Hello friends, welcome to this video on how to stretch a New York pizza. I'm Bill and I'll be your teacher today. So first we're just going to take this dough, it's room temperature, beautifully proofed. It's 2 days old and it's just ready to go. So we're going to open this up, put a generous amount of semola flour on top of it, okay? And then I want to gently degas if there's any excess gas in here. But I'm not slapping it down. I'm not whacking it. I'm just pressing the dough, or the air out to the edges. And if there's any extra big, like kind of gassy parts, I want to get those out before I start this next step, okay? So I'm forming a nice, uniform, still light, still airy, but if there's any really unmanageable bubbles in here, I've taken those out. Now I'm going to flip this over, peel the plastic off, and I always just throw this in the trash right away. One motion, boom. That way I'm not building up an unattractive layer of plastic wrap on the counter, okay? This is the side that had the plastic peel off of it. It's usually the side I use. I'm just going to take my fingers and just gently press, starting on one end, and I'm dimpling as I press the dough out. Then a little bit out to the edges, and I just kind of make this move from the center to the outside. All right, that's about a fourth of the dough, so I'm going to rotate it 1/4 turn and do this again. Look at the dimples in the middle, right? Those dimples are super important because that's where I'm going to get structure so that I can have a light pizza that's still strong and thin and crispy all at the same time. Okay, another 90-degree turn, another press out to the edge, and then one more. All right, and boom. Now when I'm stretching this, I'm looking for the rim to be roughly somewhere between the thickness of my thumb and my pinky, okay? Anything bigger than that is probably too big. Now you notice I got lots of bubbles in the middle. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I want a thicker middle because as I stretch it, it's going to thin out on its own naturally. So now I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to use this edge of my hand to basically press down. I'll turn it this way so you can see. Press down, and then I'm going to be pressing down. That keeps the big bubbles from encroaching on the center of the pizza because it just sort of seals the air into that crust. I'm using my left hand to do a little tug and pull, a little stretch, and seal that edge as well. So I'm using both hands to feel how is this dough performing? Do I have the right size of crust? Okay. And you'll notice every so often there will be like a nice thin bubble. That's okay. I like those because they give character and they'll give a little char to it. Okay, my next move is to just basically clear the space under the pizza dough so I can see with my eye our areas thicker than others. I see some thickness here and here. So I'm just going to press a little more in those areas to get the base more even. All right? And then, Travis, will you swap those so I can put this on that peel next? Thank you, my man. Okay. Now I'm going to pick it up on the back of my hands and toss it a couple of times just to get any excess flour off, okay? And then I'm going to use, and I'll show you what I've got here. I'm going to have the dough only hanging off of this part of my fingers. I need to feel that. If I have it off the back of my whole hand, this section of the dough will not stretch, and from the crust to here, the first 4 inches will be really thick, okay? I'll show you what that looks like. If you're stretching it like this, you're not getting any stretch on this part of the dough. So you've got to really let it hang off of your fingers like this, okay? And I'm going to go around one time, letting the weight of the dough do the stretching, okay? And then I can actually feel with my right hand when I've gone all the way around because it's getting thinner as I go. There we go, boom, all right? One toss, two toss, and then just lay it down on the peel. And we've got a pretty nicely stretched New York pizza. All right, friends, happy pizza making.